report still on? Over.
Yes, 562. You are all clear. Over.
I copy that. 562 out.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matt, Trend 43. In today's video, I have blog video number 17 here on the PRR Keystone. Since the last time you guys seen the layout, I've actually done quite a bit to it in terms of wiring work for buildings, and I also will have some future plans I'll talk about as well. But I also did get a few new items, and I also got some items back from repair, so we'll go ahead and take a look at those in today's video. Okay, so we'll start with the repaired items I got back. So right over here we have basically the best one of all of them, which is my Legacy command set. I finally did get this back. The problem with it was that when I shut the remote off, the screen would shut off like the names and everything. Like, here, I'll show you. Like, it's on, but when you kicked it off, it looked like this. It just did that when you let go of the CTC button. So went ahead and sent that in, and I just got it back a couple weeks ago, and it works really well, and I'm very happy with it. So now I can get all the features of my trains, which is really nice. And then also another thing I got back, which I gotta lean over here, so bear with me, is I got my Legacy NW2 back right there, and I'm very happy to have this thing back. It's an awesome engine. I have it on the wall right now just because the one of the comments I got, and I don't really know how this happens, so I'm going to address this, is that the guy said that there was trash in the gears, and I don't know how it happened. The only thing I could think of was that I was doing a lot of drilling with the drill. I was, drilling holes and stuff, so maybe some wood shavings got in the gears or something. So what I'm going to do before I run it again is I'm going to clean the layout really well, get rid of like the wood shavings here and stuff, and clean it really good before I start to run the engine again. That way that problem goes away. I'll clean the track and stuff, so that way that problem will never happen again. So that's that. So now we'll take a look at some new stuff I got. Alright, as far as new stuff, there really isn't a whole heck of a lot to see over here, but I'll go ahead and show you anyway. So we're on my workbench right here, or what will eventually be my former workbench. I do have another workbench, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But anyway, I got a new soldering station right here, which I'm very happy I have this. This is the Xtronic 3020 unit. It's really nice. As you can see, we got the iron right here. Really good iron. And what's nice about it is it has a sleep feature on it. Like when you put the iron in the holder here, if you let it sit for 10 minutes, the display here will go down to nothing. And then when you take it out, it'll fire it back up again, which is nice. You got your temperature control right here. I have mine around 700 degrees, 710, I believe is what I have it for. So that's pretty nice. Comes with the tip cleaner and the sponge, which I use the cleaner, but that's just how I go. And then you can throw to Celsius or to Fahrenheit, whichever you have. And then you got the little power switch right here. And then it also comes with this holder for the solder. Now, it doesn't come with solder. I bought this solder, but I actually have some stuff from Harbor Freight I'm going to use first before I get into this stuff. But I do want to try it, so we'll go ahead and see how I like it. Now, for you guys that own this unit, this solder spool, I believe it attaches to the unit, and there's a couple of screws that were in the box, but my holes don't line up. So if any of you guys have this item, go ahead and let me know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe mine's bad or something, but I'm fine with it just leaving it right here. In fact, what I might do is I might tape it or Velcro it down or something like that, so that way this thing won't move, because it does move a little bit. But I'm really happy with this item, and I really do like it a lot. Now, the only other thing over here was I got this organizer, I guess if you want to call it. It had a whole bunch of screws in it, and I kept some screws that I thought I was going to use, and all the rest of the stuff is just, LEDs and staples and all kinds of things. I'm not going to go through all the drawers, but I'll go and open a few of them. So you see, like, right here I have just some miscellaneous things, and then, like in here I have LEDs and a battery clip and all kinds of stuff. I do have some screws up here, and then one of these drawers. Yeah, like these kinds of screws. These screws are really good for engines. I'll tell you, if you got a screw that's bad in an engine, these are the screws to use. These are nice and meaty and bitey, really good screws. This is the size I like to use. I have an engine, I'll show you, that I went ahead and put the screws in. It made a world of a difference. So that's that. I also have a couple other things I'm working on. I have this ITAD and this banjo signal over here, because the last time I tried to wire it, it wasn't working. When I wired up the ITAD and threw power to it, the thing just constantly ran. It's not supposed to. It's only supposed to activate when you have a train or something blocking the sensors right here. So I'm gonna screw with this and see what I can do. So, but for right now, that's what we've got over here. I'll go ahead and show you my workbench, and then we'll move on to the layout again. Okay, so this is the big purchase for the layout. This is a workbench that I got from Harbor Freight, and I still have to put it together. Actually, I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm just waiting to get the basement a little bit reorganized here to make room for it, because it's really big. It's a 48-incher. It's got a light on it. It's got some power plugs, and it also has a tool rack with a pegboard. So it's really a nice unit. So I'm really excited to get this thing going, and I'll be sure to show you guys it once I get it all set up. So anyway, you guys are really curious about this, so let's go take a look. Alright, so here's what I've been doing over the past couple months, and it's been basically doing some wiring work on the buildings. I've been spending a lot of my time actually rewiring the layout. I had some power problems I had to fix on the layout, mainly due to the lack of feeders I had, but I went ahead and ran some feeders on this side. I still gotta run some on this side, but that will be when I get to that. But I want to get the buildings wired in first and be able to get the trains running, which they run just fine now. Although, like over here on this loop, I do need to add some more feeders and stuff, but I'll get to that eventually. But the big thing is I've been wiring buildings. Now I have pretty much everything wired up except for a few minor things, but I'll just kind of briefly show you around. I will be doing a full layout tour video in the next couple weeks here, so just keep an eye out for that, and I'll go over some more detail on the buildings and stuff, and you guys can kind of see what my future plans are. So I'm going to show you around. I will also mention that 90% of the buildings here are actually converted to LEDs. I converted them myself, and it was really easy. All I did was solder 2 wires onto the LED strip, and you run the LED strip to the power supply. So it was really easy. These two here, this and that, are not converted yet. These two I just have to pull them out and do it. But these two over here, I do need to get some better screwdrivers, because the screwdrivers I have won't let the screws come out. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But at any rate, everything else is converted over, and I think it looks really good. I'm going to shut the lights off in a second so you guys can see kind of what we're looking at here. So, but it looks really good over here. So one thing I did add to the layout, and this is just for temporary purposes, at least this particular car is I went ahead and added this subway car over here to this little scene. And what I'm going to do is, the subway car I'm going to kind of have as a display piece, but I have this car on here with the doors open because the doors are stuck on this particular side. They won't close with the remote, so I do need to get it fixed, but I will eventually go ahead and do that. It's a little expensive, so I just want to make sure I have the money first, but I will definitely go ahead and get it fixed up, and then I can enjoy it. So that's why it's over here, but eventually when I get it fixed, I'll probably replace it with a passenger car, or I may just try to find another one of these cars on eBay or something like that, and I'll go ahead and put it here. Now, in case you're curious, this is a Lionel R27 subway car. It goes with the set that you see back here. It's a really fun set, and the doors are just awesome when they work. But this is the only door problem I've ever had with this set. Major door problem. I had one problem with this particular car. On the other side, one of the doors was stuck. It was a drive shaft that wasn't in there, but that was a quick fix. I actually had it sent out because I'm not comfortable with doing this, at least not on this particular set. But At any rate, I'll go ahead and shut the lights off and we'll take a look at the night scene. Now obviously with the sun shining behind me, it's not the full night effect, but you get the idea. So, let's see kind of what we got here. I think it looks really cool. Now, I do have a couple things I want to mention to you guys. Is that one of these things is these model powerhouses, like this one over here. You can see that there's a lot of light bleed on it, and what I'm going to do is not add a resistor to the lights, because I like the color of the lights, the brightness. I think they look really good, but I probably will add some paper to it or something like that, because I think the plastic they use is kind of thin on these, and I think that's what the problem is. But I'll be able to fix that real quick. Like this one here doesn't really have that much light bleed on it. This one here, this is actually still an incandescent building, this train shop, but you can see that especially during the nighttime you can kind of see the light bleed on it. But I'm sure once I can get that converted, I'm sure it won't be a problem. But yeah, this is what we're looking at right here. I think it looks awesome. I also have these cars that I went ahead and put the lights in, and as you can see, I think it looks really neat. Got that one. I got these two, which I think looks really cool. Eventually this will all be a road. This here will be a parking lot. Then I have a road come up here. Then this will come around and be a small parking area for these buildings back here, and then it'll swing around and come over here. So I think it looks really neat. And then over here will be a road as well, and then I think I'll have a small parking area for the cars over here for this subway car just to look at. I think we have a traffic light over here too, just to kind of get the traffic all going, you know, make it look kind of big even though it's small. And then over here I'll probably have a parking lot for these stations over here. Now I did do a couple things with these stations. The first thing that you guys can obviously probably tell is that I did, yes, convert them to LEDs. And the reason why you do that, for those of you who may be new to this, is you like to keep the amperage down. With the incandescents, they draw, you know, quite a bit of power, especially if you run like passenger trains and stuff like that. Well, buildings are the same deal. You want to try to get the amperage down, so that's why you convert your buildings to LEDs, to keep the amperage down. Now, like I said, I've converted pretty much everything to LEDs to really keep the amperage down, and it looks really cool and looks really neat. So it will only look better as time goes on. Okay, so here we are, lights on again. So there's one building I do want to talk to you guys about, and that's this one back over here. This is a Lionel Esso gas station. Now, as you guys might be able to see, it is weathered. And what I originally was going to do was I was going to make it look abandoned and just throw it, you know, behind some buildings with some weeds and stuff growing out, make it look abandoned. Well, what I decided to do was I started sanding it down, and then I might briefly repaint it, you know, maybe like repaint the base or something. But I'm going to convert it to a restaurant. So, like where the garage doors are, let's see if I can get over here with the camera. Like in here, I'm going to have like table and chairs and stuff. I'll probably have a door over there, and then in here, this section, I'll have, you know, cooks and stuff making food and things like that. So I think it'll look really cool in the end, but I just need to do that, and eventually I will go ahead and do that. It'll be really cool. So that's about it. You know, as far as, like I said, the LEDs, it's really quick, easy, just a couple of wires. It's nothing I really need to show a video on, because if you know how to solder 2 wires, you're pretty much good to go. And I think it looks really cool, all the lights, and plus it gives a lot better brightness to the buildings themselves. So I do have a couple small things I do want to wire up. I got a wire in this right here. This is a K-Line Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey bunk car, and I'm gonna go ahead and convert this to like an office kind of car. And actually, I did kind of fade the lettering a little bit. I think it looks really neat, and I'll probably do some more fading on it, but I just need to throw in the lighting and then light it up to track power. So it's gonna be really cool. once that's done. Then also back over here, I've got this little work caboose cab. I'll go ahead and pop some LEDs in there and light that up too. So that'll be pretty cool. So, but that's about it for this layout video, guys. So, like I said, I will do a tour the next couple weeks here, showing you kind of everything, my journey into this hobby, and kind of show you where we're at, how we got here, and just have some fun. So, until the next one, guys, take care. We'll see you.